This would be the latest technology as far as the fancy type of prints. The latest would be the 1850s. They put these on iron plates. These are not tin. They say they're tin, but that has to do with how they were used. These are the sturdiest, of course. It's very hard to tear them. And they were used between between late 1850s and the mid 1930s. And of course, they have some odd sizes, but you shouldn't find any bigger than about 6 by 8. And I have worked on some that large. Okay, the next one are ambrotypes. Anybody know what an ambrotype is? I don't think anybody brought one, but you got one. Okay, I'll show you some pictures here too. If you want to, why don't you bring that up, and we can like share, or stand up. Just stand up and then show everybody, and they can come. You don't have to take it out. Leave it in the bag. Okay, yeah. These are what you call a cased photo. They're cased. They're in a case, and they're assembled in a couple different pieces. Okay. The ambrotype have 6 pieces, and that consists of the glass cover, then an image on the glass, which had some light-sensitive photographic materials that was exposed to make the image. It has a dark backing that was painted dark on the back. Then it has a metal edging, which, as you saw what he showed, it's that nice fancy copper-looking edge. And then there would be a case. And often the case is wood with some felt in it. Very fancy, very beautiful pictures. And these were a lot easier to reproduce at the time than daguerreotypes. And daguerreotypes are the first of the fanciest photographs, invented by Louis Daguerre in 1839. And these lasted through the mid 1850s. And you'd find them at the same size of an ambrotype. The daguerreotypes are made up of fewer pieces. Instead of 6 with an ambrotype, these would be the case with the metal, with the metal edging, a mat, and then the image is on the glass. Again, the daguerreotypes and the ambrotypes do not have paper prints. They're on glass. Okay? And before these became the cool thing to get, we had portraits that were made from photos that were painted. Like, you know, the oval photo I showed you? Remember the 3 people with the oval photo? That was a picture that was made from a photograph, but then they painted on it. They colored it. They retouched it heavily, okay? And that was the style. And after that, then came the daguerreotype, then came the ambrotype, and then the tin type. Some other things that you can help date a picture and identify a picture is facial characteristics. Okay, is this person is this an ancestor at a certain age? Sometimes you can tell that if you have another picture of them as older or younger. Unfortunately, as you age, you can either gain or lose weight, and sometimes your facial characteristics change a little bit, but generally they stay the same. And when you're talking about your ancestors from the 18 and early 1900s, they didn't have McDonald's and Applebee's and Sizzlers all over the place, so they didn't eat a whole lot. Generally, they just got skinnier. Another thing that can give you a clue are the props that are used in the photographs. So if they have pedestals behind them with certain relics on them, maybe they have something from some secret society or something religious related, you would be able to tell. It would help you place and date the picture. Also the architecture. If they're photographed in front of a real building, okay, the architecture of the building, is it a wooden sidewalk? Is it brick? Is it dirt? Signs also. By looking at photos, you really like to look at signs. You say, well, where is this store? And maybe I can find it somewhere in an index somewhere in some old phone book. Now again, this is short because again, this is not my specialty, and I hope I didn't disappoint anybody in that regard. But I hope that those of you who know nothing about it, at least I can point you in the right direction. The first thing I recommend is a nice book. Maureen Taylor has done a couple books actually, so pretty much all of her books deal with photos and identifying people and places and things in the photos. But the latest one is Uncovering Your Ancestry Through Family Photographs. I have one copy left on the table. There's another website that I launched. I launched this website in January. It's called lostandfoundphotos.net. And when we do get the internet connection, I'll take you through it real quick. But it's a nice way to, you're not necessarily going to find an answer right away, but it's a good way to upload your picture onto the internet and to a country that you believe it came from, and possibly someone else who's browsing who might be familiar with the area in which the picture was made will post a response to your image that's up there and say, hey, this looks like such and such town around such and such time. I have a similar picture, or I have ancestors there, or I live there. You know, it's a new pioneering effort. We'll see what happens. It's free. It's no charge, and you can. You're pretty much on your own with it. Again, you know, it's free and no charge, but it's a good place to possibly find an answer to your question. I've had people from around the world put things and say, hey, I lost my camera card when I was in Rome at such and such time, and they had it posted in the Italy forum. You know, so we'll see. The other one is, and by the way, Maureen Taylor has her own websites, and she's very good. She does entire lectures on this. Thepastmatters.com. This is Karen Steely, and she can help you identify a photograph. You can pay her a certain amount of money, and she will, and it's not a lot, I don't believe, she will do her best to get you some kind of answer on who that might be at what time and what place is in that photograph. Any questions? Go ahead.
She has a picture, and she thought it was a tin, and it's rusting.
It's got a little rust on it.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize they did it as late as you said, 1930s.
Well, yeah, yeah,
So it could have been my father.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Could it be on tin?
Well, it's really not tin, it's iron.
Even though
And you know, iron can rust.
yeah, it's going to get rust on it.
Yeah. Yeah, there was water, there was moisture there. So it very well could be his, like he said. It's probably accurate. And that looked like one of those really mass-produced tin types.
And there's color on it, like someone put
Yep. Yep. Well, see, and that tells you something else. That book, and they have it at the library here, by Maureen Taylor, talks about color photographs and can help you kind of figure that out.
My dad had one. I've got it now. I wish I brought it. It's not wood. The metal around it is not wood, and it's not a photograph like a photograph frame like this. And I want to say that he almost had it like there was some place you could go and just take a quick snapshot, because Dad had one of his goofy expressions on, like he does for snapshots, or did. And does that even ring a bell with you? And it's metal. It's all metal.
I don't know. Boy, I you know, and I'd have to see it too. You know what I mean? So boy, I don't know. That sounds really unusual to me. I'd like to see it. Please do, please do. Please do. Go to the you know, on the handout I have my website, and you can contact me. It's at the bottom. Or there's my email address is right at the bottom.
A Better Reality thing?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's right at the bottom. A Better Reality, Eric B at abetterreality.net.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
I'll take pictures of it front and back and send it to you.
Great, great, great.
It's very strange. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, yeah.
We need to hook you up to the internet.
Yeah, yeah, whenever you're ready.
Just have to do cable and something.
Whenever you're ready.
It's been switched on.
Okay.
Just